Hey everyone, how's it going? We're glad you're all here from around the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Breaking U.S. intelligence has released a classified report revealing that 2,000 Houthi fighters have entered Gaza to fight alongside Al-Qassam Brigades against the Israeli occupation.
According to the report, around 200 fighters from Yemen's Houthi movement, Ansar Allah, recently entered Gaza through a network of tunnels stretching from Egypt. These fighters joined forces with Hamas military wing, Al-Qassam Brigades, as part of advanced military coordination.
The report also states that the Houthis didn't come empty-handed. They brought with them advanced weapons, heavy machine guns, RPGs, and sophisticated explosive devices. These weapons were distributed to frontline units operating particularly in the Shuja'iyya and Rafah areas in eastern Gaza.
This development comes amid an increasingly complex war in Gaza, as the Israeli assault continues and civilian infrastructure is being heavily targeted. The entry of Houthi fighters marks a significant shift in the balance of power and shows the growing regional cooperation among resistance factions.
This is reportedly the first time Western intelligence agencies have confirmed the direct presence of Yemeni fighters on Palestinian soil, something that could have major regional consequences, especially given Egypt's sensitive position on border tunnel issues.
Leaked details. There are dramatic new revelations about elite Al-Qassam units, particularly the Aswad al-Muntar unit, carrying out a special ambush in the Shuja'iyya neighborhood of eastern Gaza.
Footage shows Israeli troops being lured into a narrow alley where they were hit with carefully placed explosive devices. Close-range fighting followed, with Al-Qassam using RPGs and precision light weapons.
What stood out was that trusted sources confirmed direct field coordination with Houthi officers, who shared urban warfare tactics like surprise raids, booby traps, and stealth movement through crowded neighborhoods and destroyed buildings.
Some of the ambush tactics used reportedly draw on Houthi experiences in places like Sada and Marib in Yemen, where narrow alleys and urban terrain are used to inflict heavy losses on enemies.
Video evidence shows Israeli soldiers falling one after the other in a state of chaos. Israeli aircraft intervened to evacuate the wounded under heavy fire. It seems the ambush was expertly planned, as the attackers knew exactly when Israeli forces would advance, indicating a likely breach of their field communications.
More leaks. Another ambush by Al-Qassam in Rafah in southern Gaza was reportedly the result of joint planning with Houthi officers. The tactic used was unconventional, overlapping explosives and synchronized ambush points in a complex urban setting, strategies that are considered signature Houthi guerrilla tactics. Leaked footage shows Israeli troops being directly targeted with explosives while preparing to demolish a Palestinian home. In another incident, a foot patrol was hit by a sophisticated explosive device in a major street, causing confusion among Israeli command. These ambushes are part of a broader series of operations by Al-Qassam against Israel's ongoing ground incursion into Gaza. So far, Israel has admitted to the deaths of 856 soldiers since the war began, including 8 killed since March, along with 5,447 wounded, of whom 234 were injured in ground combat in Gaza. These developments suggest growing effectiveness of the resistance forces and increased knowledge sharing with allies in the region, signaling a possible shift in the dynamics on the ground.
In another significant operation, Al-Qassam set up a precise ambush near Rafah that reportedly killed 10 Israeli officers and destroyed 3 Merkava tanks, according to field sources.
Leaked information indicates that the plan was developed in coordination with Yemeni Special Forces officers from the Houthi Ansar Allah group, who secretly entered Gaza to support Al-Qassam directly.
These officers helped plan and execute the ambush using advanced guerrilla warfare and ambush tactics. The most surprising claim? These sources say the operation was approved by none other than former US President Donald Trump, who allegedly gave the green light to transfer selected Houthi fighters into Gaza as part of a covert strategy to shift the rules of engagement in the region.
Intelligence reports also mention that large shipments of advanced weapons, including guided missiles and anti-armor rockets, reached Gaza through secret routes, coordinated by Yemeni and Egyptian intelligence with logistical support from the CIA.
So far, the Israeli military hasn't officially commented on the losses. Meanwhile, heavy fighting continues in southern Gaza as Israeli forces remain on high alert.
In a major field development, a joint group of Houthi fighters and local resistance carried out a complex operation inside Gaza. Houthi fighters and Al-Qassam Brigades carried out a special operation targeting Israeli forces in Gaza's Shuja'iyya neighborhood.
According to well-informed field sources, a joint Houthi Al-Qassam unit managed to carry out a carefully planned ambush that resulted in the deaths of 2 Israeli officers and 7 soldiers, and the destruction of a Merkava tank.
Advanced explosives were planted along the route of the Israeli force, and footage released by local media shows the moment the IEDs went off and the tank exploded while resistance fighters opened heavy fire. An Israeli helicopter was seen landing at the site to evacuate the dead and wounded.
Leaked intelligence reports later revealed that the operation was executed using precise military tactics typically employed by Houthi forces in Yemen. Sources said that the planning was overseen by a group of experienced Yemeni officers, skilled in guerrilla warfare and complex ambushes, who successfully transferred their know-how to Gaza in coordination with Al-Qassam.
Following the attack, Israeli forces launched a wide-scale security alert in the Shuja'iyya area, with intensive drone and surveillance activity amid fears of additional ambushes.
In a major development, confidential leaks revealed that a group of Houthi fighters has joined Al-Qassam Brigades inside Gaza. According to sources, this Yemeni unit, affiliated with Ansar Allah, infiltrated Gaza from Egypt through illegal tunnels and secret routes.
These fighters were reportedly highly trained in guerrilla and unconventional warfare, and have been integrated into Al-Qassam's units to carry out high-level operations against Israeli forces.
The leaks, reported by both Arab and international media outlets, indicate that many of the recent, well-coordinated ambushes against Israeli troops were planned directly by Yemeni military officers.
A well-known American magazine published a special report this week highlighting these developments, noting the appearance of innovative new ambush tactics in Gaza. The report stated that the strategies used closely resemble the methods employed by the Houthis in Yemen, such as multi-stage ambushes, disguised explosive devices, and hit-and-run attacks in urban environments.
The report concluded that the collaboration between Al-Qassam and the Yemeni fighters poses an unprecedented challenge to Israeli forces, suggesting that a significant portion of Israel's recent losses, both in personnel and equipment, can be attributed to this imported expertise.
So far, neither Hamas nor Al-Qassam has issued an official statement confirming or denying this information.
Meanwhile, the Houthi movement announced today that it had launched a long-range ballistic missile targeting Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, reportedly damaging 2 Israeli military cargo planes.
According to the Houthi military spokesperson, the strike was a response to what they called Israel's blatant interference in the region and its support for the assault on Gaza.
Footage released by Houthi-affiliated and international media showed the missile hitting the military runway, causing a massive fire in 2 Hercules C-130 aircraft loaded with military equipment. The video showed thick smoke rising and firefighting crews trying to extinguish the flames engulfing the planes.
Israeli media confirmed that Ben Gurion Airport was placed on high alert, with all flights suspended and rerouted to alternative airports such as Haifa and Ramon in the south. Emergency and rescue teams rushed to the scene, and all roads leading to the airport were sealed off.
An Israeli army spokesperson admitted that the missile defense systems failed to intercept the long-range missile, without giving further details. Security sources said that Israeli authorities ordered bomb shelters to be opened in Tel Aviv and nearby areas in case of more incoming attacks.
This operation comes amid rising tensions and escalating clashes between the resistance axis and Israel.
Separately, Al-Qassam Brigades released video footage documenting a multi-layered ambush against Israeli forces in the city of Rafah, southern Gaza, as part of their ongoing campaign called the Gates of Hell. The video includes scenes from the second ambush in this series, which took place on Wednesday, May 7th in the eastern Rafah incursion area.
At the beginning of the video, a field commander from Al-Qassam is seen saying, "Let the gates of hell be flung wide open," followed by footage from a previous episode showing aerial shots of the ambush site, including key locations like Al-Mashru roundabout, Salah al-Din Street, the Eastern Battalion position, and the enemy's advance path from Mirage toward the combat zone.
According to Al-Qassam, the operation began by shelling the ground floor of a house where several Israeli soldiers were sheltering, using anti-structure and anti-armor rounds. Then, fighters engaged the remaining troops using appropriate weapons.
After that, the fighters retreated through a pre-dug tunnel, luring the Israeli soldiers into a pre-rigged area with explosives, which were detonated as soon as the force arrived, killing and wounding several soldiers.
The footage also shows an Israeli drone and K-9 units scanning the area to ensure no fighters remained, before a second Israeli force of 9 soldiers arrived at the ambush site, only to be hit again with explosives, all while resistance fighters shouted, "Allahu Akbar." Thanks so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. At S News, we're committed to bringing you fair and in-depth coverage.